roll call is we are joined by Councilmember Martinez, Councilmember Shiltz, and Councilmember Parizek. Mayor Pro Tem McFerrin is going to try to join us by Zoom. And I think that Councilmember Dominguez will be here. First item is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second? Yeah, is there a discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have, are there any nays? The ayes have it. Next up is approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is approved. Item number 4 on the list is the public hearing. So is there a motion to open the public hearing on garbage rate ordinance for solid waste for multi-dwelling units?
Motion to open.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? It is a roll call vote. The clerk will call the roll.
Parizek,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
Okay, first up is public comments and or correspondence regarding this issue. Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Hearing no public comments, are there any of the council members or city staff received any correspondence? All right. With that, is there a motion to close the public hearing on the garbage rate ordinance for solid waste?
Make the motion to close.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
All right, the next item then is the first reading of ordinance 2024-0820-06, an ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of West Liberty, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to solid waste collection fees. Is there a motion? Do we have to have a motion? Yes, we do have to have a motion for the first reading.
Make a motion to open the first reading.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
All right, Martinez,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
Okay, and then do we do a reading?
That is,
That's it.
yep, that
Okay.
is it.
All right, next up is item 5, open the public hearing on weeds and noxious growth ordinance. Is there a motion to open a public hearing on this ordinance?
Make the motion to open.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Parizek,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
Okay, are there any public comments on the weeds and noxious growth ordinance? Are there any public comments on the weeds and noxious growth ordinance? Are there any public comments on the weeds and noxious growth ordinance? Hearing none, have any of our staff or members of the council received any correspondence? Is there a motion to close the public hearing on weeds and noxious growth ordinance?
Motion to close public.
Is there a second? Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Martinez,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
Item 5A, first reading of ordinance 2024-08-20 -08, an ordinance amending the code of ordinances for the city of West Liberty, Iowa by amending the provisions pertaining to weeds and noxious growth. Is there a motion to approve the first reading?
Motion to approve first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing,
Well, Mr. Mayor, I was just gonna, Clerk Hoffert, would you just, if my understanding is correct, this will allow us to post annually every year, referencing the code, with maintaining, your lawn, weeds, and other types of, like it says, the not just growth, and so I just wanted to, it's not necessarily changing, the responsibility of the ordinance, it's just stating, how we would post for it annually.
It's also changing the height to make it uniform with the rest of the communities surrounding us. And it also allows us, for people who are blowing grass into the street, which is a hazard, it allows us to be able to bill them and also educate them on the reasons why that is not allowed within the ordinance.
okay. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Right, Parizek,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
We are now up to item 7, reports. First report is from our city engineer, Leo Foley.
Mayor, we still have one more public hearing.
Say it isn't so.
Yeah, we have one more on the open dumping.
We do, apologies. I thought, did I get off on the numbering there? So item number 6 then, we'll hold comments from our engineer. Open the public hearing on open dumping prohibited ordinance. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion to open public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Martinez,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
We are now for public comments on the open dumping prohibited ordinance. Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments on the open dumping prohibited ordinance? Are there any open or comments on the open dumping prohibited ordinance? Hearing none, is there any correspondence that has been received?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Then is there a motion to close the public hearing on open dumping prohibited ordinance?
Motion to close.
Is there a second? Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
All right, now we are for comments from the city engineer.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, we still have the first reading of that ordinance.
Man, I keep trying to unload these things. All right, sorry. All right, so we have item 6A, first reading of ordinance 2024-08-20-09, an ordinance amending the code of ordinance of the city of West Liberty, Iowa by adding a new section regarding open dumping prohibited. Is there a motion to approve the first reading?
Motion to approve first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Mr. Mayor, City Clerk and Chief Hauser had put some additional work into this. I didn't know if Chief Hauser, would you, or City Clerk want to just kind of emphasize, the need or the meaning behind the additional ordinance?
You want me to take it?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so this is going to allow us for people who are depositing waste or debris into dumpsters and stuff like that. It's essentially what most people would know as illegal dumping. That's the typical name for it. This is something that Adam has reached out to the chief to try and get things under control, and we didn't have anything put in place to be able to have that. So I worked with the codifier to make sure that I could get that put in place, and this is your standard ordinance for open dumping prohibited.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
All right, Parizek,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Dominguez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
I think I'm now.
Now you're on the reports, yes.
For item 7, city engineer Leo Foley.
Okay, I'm ready. Wastewater treatment plant. So we've met, last month when the whole group met and kind of went through some things. And one of the things our engineer had recommended maybe was some additional testing at the wastewater treatment plant. We hadn't given that 100% to Craig to start doing yet. But we wanted to look into it. I wanted to look at what the cost was and what the benefits were. So I think we're meeting this Friday and we'll go over that. So he hasn't started doing it, but that's kind of been churning in the department. And his thoughts on that are, you guys have always done a great job of treating, and we've always thought that plant could be rated higher than what it should be. And that makes a big difference to the way the permits are written. And if it's higher, then West Liberty Foods has a little higher potential, and it makes everybody's life a little easier. It doesn't change anything else. So that's something we were looking at. Next one is the water treatment plant in our well number 2. I saw from Austin a note to the integrator to wait on integrating because there's some SCADA changes that aren't part of this project that are going on right now. So I think everything's okay. They're just on hold for a little bit longer. So that, to me, looks like it's okay. I'm not gonna comment on the powerhouse roof because that's a resolution here to close out later. Next one is Naughty Circle. That's a closed out project. May or may not remember, there were a couple of very contentious change orders. One of them was over water services to houses that got hit and had to be repaired. One of them particularly, there's a leak in the same one, not at the exact same location where they patched. We had very good pictures, all of that. They were all over it. All-American asked, we've been notifying All-American and notifying them. And they asked that they were busy, and they asked that we take a video. Your people took a video of it. So I talked to All-American today. They're still nervous about the change order the first time around, but I think they're gonna be fine with this first one. There may be another one, and they're gonna be looking at it. We don't even know yet if there is another one. The first one looks like it's gonna be taken care of. And the intent is that All-American should pay for that, and that's 100% of where I'm at on it. So that's where we're going, and I just want to let you know that that's going on. Your staff's doing a really good job of noting it, copying it, making pictures of it, so hopefully we'll keep going.
So these folks still have the leak then,
The one leak was repaired.
right? But the second,
We don't know that that's there. There's water coming into the sewer. There's a sub-drain from the road that we put in. Somehow there's water going into the sub-drain. They assume it must be another leak. You know, you have extremely high water in this town, high groundwater in general. You've seen a lot. But if they could find that leak, that would be great. So I think today, I talked to Adam earlier, they were busy with other water problems in other parts of the town, but I think in the next couple of days, they'll get on that and find out.
I was just worried that someone's had a leak coming in the basement or
No,
something.
it's going down the storm sewer, but you're losing some water. And by the way, most cities lose 20 to 25% of the water because of stuff like this, and they can't find it. But this one we'll find. We will find this one because they are on it. All right, so that's that one. And then the next thing, another one out there is the Columbus Street sidewalk. Last council meeting, you guys approved the right of way, and All American has said that as soon as school starts, that will be on their priority list to get that one done. That's all I had for tonight, unless anybody has any questions.
Thanks. All right, city reports, the wastewater treatment, Craig's reports, part of the packet. We also have the recreation report, IT report, and the library report, part of the packet. Are there any questions for regarding those reports? Okay. Hearing committee meetings, task force meeting occurred on July 24th. And then the meeting last evening was canceled. Anything else to add regarding those? Okay. All right. Item number 8, vendor claims. A, vendor claim voucher claim list number 1 in the amount of $447,232.05. Is there a motion to approve? Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, it is approved. Next up is claim list, number 2 in the amount of $564. Is there a motion to approve? Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it and the list is approved. Next is the library prepaid claim list in the amount of $9,121. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying nay. It is approved. Next up is item 9 on the list, public comments and or correspondence. This is the time that's set aside for public comments of city business other than those listed in the agenda. Keep in mind that to follow the open meeting laws, we as a city council can hear the comments. We cannot respond to the comments because they are not items on the agenda. And so if you want to make a public comment, please state your name and address for the record and keep your comments no more than 2 minutes. Are there public comments? Are there public comments? Are there public comments? Hearing none, we will move on to city council public comments and or correspondence. Councilmember Martinez.
I have received none.
Councilmember Dominguez.
No.
Councilmember Shiltz.
Have not.
Councilmember Parizek.
I've heard from a couple of people about the high concern for the 28E agreement.
Yes.
And I know the mayor has said on a press release, I didn't know if there's anything else that we can tell the citizens that we're working on or anything to that effect.
My impression is that I covered, I want the 28E agreements to go in place. And that I feel very strongly because of the work that needs to be done to implement, that it should be a 2-step process. So I've said that and we'll continue to say that and hope that we can resolve that.
Can I just make an announcement?
Yeah.
I did get approved for the NALEO Emergency
Yes.
Preparedness Institute, so I'll be going there to Houston, September 18th through the 20th.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Is there correspondence to address from council members as well as comments? Okay, comments from the city manager.
No, Mr. Mayor, I haven't received any public hearings.
All right, from the city clerk.
We have not received any.
Okay. New business, A, discussion and appropriate action by the city council of West Liberty on the event assistance and street closure for Father Guillermo Trevino, in the city of West Liberty, Iowa. So first up is discussion and then a motion and then consent vote. So is there discussion?
Do you put times on here? I did not see a time.
The times, it has the event starting time at 1:30,
Yeah.
Street closing yet.
but the street, yep. And then the street opening time is 6:30. It goes 1:30 to 6.
There other discussion? Is there a motion to approve the event assistance and street closure for Father Guillermo Trevino?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, consent vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. It is approved. Next up is B, discussion and appropriate action by the city council of West Liberty, Iowa on the economic development program application for 125 East Third Street in West Liberty, Iowa. Property owner Jose Gonzalez. Gonzalez, yes. Okay, discussion.
Mr. Mayor, I would ask Lead Director Ken Brooks. He assisted Mr. Gonzalez with his application. Mr. Brooks, would you like to provide the information with the council and mayor?
Absolutely, thank you. So Mr. Gonzalez's property is on the corner of Spencer Street and Third Street, downtown West Liberty. It's a building that houses Rosie's massage studio there. Houses an insurance company. Those are two existing businesses, and it houses what used to be the Chinese restaurant, which is no longer. He's been doing some preliminary work to do some renovation in that space in order to house some new businesses. So that is ongoing, but in order to keep any of the businesses operational and the apartments on the second story operational, there is some roof repair that drastically needs to be done. So this grant would cover about half of that roof repair. We've got two quotes in front of you. One is a little less expensive than the other, and is very thankful for the opportunity to apply for this.
Is there other discussion?
Mayor and council, city staff has reviewed the application as well, and we would support the approval of that application.
Yeah.
This is minor, I believe, but there was an article in the paper stating that there might possibly be a gun shop entering this location as well as the barber shop. I see the barber shop listed on here for possible future businesses, but nothing about anything else.
If it happens to be a gun shop, there is some steps that they will have to go through and complete in order to have the business, which requires, and I won't go into great detail, but I do know it requires they have to go through a certification, and there's some more pieces to establish that, but at the end of the day, they would be required to meet those things. Chief Hauser, that's my understanding within.
Yeah, they'd have to meet with the ATF and they'd have to have somebody come on site and review everything with them. So it's a long process that it be vetted. So it's nothing as quick as filing for an LLC and such.
So this is one of the first buildings in the downtown of West Liberty that we're helping keep functioning.
Also,
So we've explored every other option for its historic value too, because this one was, used to house the International Order of the Odd Fellows. And that's pretty iconic and stuff like that. So I didn't know if there's anything else out there that would support, establish and keeping this place intact and stuff, so.
it's a good question, and it is a part of the historic district that's recognized. And I did have a conversation, and I believe Ken as well. We've talked to Mr. Gonzalez, and explained that, there's opportunity out there through historic tax credits. For restoration or, on the outside of the building. I know most of the internal stuff has been renovated and changed, but definitely from the face of the building itself, yeah, that was good, that's good input.
Is there a motion to approve the economic development plan program application for 125 East Third Street?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there, or then discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution or the application is approved. Resolution 2024-0820-173, a resolution to approve pay estimate number 4 for DC Taylor Company for the powerhouse re-roofing project for retainage and project closeout in the city of West Liberty. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
And now we're open for discussion. So city engineer Foley left this for this portion of the
Yes.
agenda.
So this is a pretty big amount of money, $44,000, 874. And the reason for that is because they did have those leaks. The leaks got repaired right away, and to be straight with you, I thought DC Taylor did a very good job of making sure everything was taken care of. There were some bumps along the road, like with a lot of contractors, but I think in general, when things didn't go right, they got their top people in there and they took care of the business. So I think I was pleased with them overall, and I sent out the warranty information. They did a final check on everything, so it's good to close out. Recommend closing out.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote. The clerk will call the roll.
Dominguez,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
Next up is resolution 2024-0820-174, a resolution to approve the city of West Liberty rules of procedure and conduct for the city of West Liberty, Iowa City Council. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I would just like to say congratulations to the council and the work that was put into this policy that you have before you. This was also a part of your strategic planning, and with if you choose to approve this item this evening, you have more than halfway met the goals that was provided in our strategic planning. And at the next council meeting, I'll provide you an update so we can see what we've accomplished from the strategic plan and what we still have outstanding. But I would just like to say good work on this, and I didn't know if anybody had any questions or anything that you had seen within it.
I have a question.
Okay,
Was this all vetted by our attorneys as well?
Yes.
Just to make sure there's no conflicts with,
That's
Civil
the red
rights.
line, the
Yeah.
red areas.
is the attorney?
Is the attorney's changes. There is one thing that I do want to communicate. The setting the time for 6:30, we still have to amend our ordinance in order to have that. So this will go into effect, but we won't be able to make the meetings at 6:30 until we go through the public hearing and everything for that. And what we will do is actually set it in our ordinance to set the time of the meeting by resolution, which was recommended by our codifier. So if councils in the future need to make the changes, we don't have to go through all of that. It will specify in the ordinance that we're setting it by resolution.
Brittany, were we able to get Mayor Pro Tem McFerrin on with Zoom?
Yep, she's been on since about the beginning.
I'd just like to take a moment and thank her. She did tremendous work on pulling this together and work diligently to get us to the point that we are with this. So I think that that needs to be mentioned as well. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, it's a roll call vote. The clerk will call the roll.
Parizek,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Dominguez,
Yes,
motion passes 4-0.
Next up is resolution 2024-0820-175, a resolution setting wages for the West Liberty Police Department full and part-time certified police officers. Is there a motion to approve?
motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Okay.
Is there discussion?
Is this new police officers? Is
It's,
that why we're doing this instead of at the beginning of the budget?
let me yield to the,
It's some new part-time officers as well as, returning Jessica Salas, she came back from Wilton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's a requirement that we post this, so when we hire new people, you have seen them in the past with the EMS and fire department and within our other departments. This is something that we have to do to specify that we are putting them on the payroll.
okay. Is there further discussion? It's a roll call vote. The clerk will call the roll.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Dominguez,
Yes,
Parizek,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
To the chagrin of our Chamber of Commerce executive, we went over 30 minutes. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
hi.
Those opposed? Nay. All right. We're adjourned. Thank you.